All right, y'all, how's it going? I think I'm a little long overdue for doing any kind of a video. I'm just not very consistent. When it comes to doing this stuff, I'm busy doing other shit, but I'm going to give you guys my thoughts here. So, overall, the market just isn't looking great. And I've kind of been all over the place on where I think we're going just in the last 48 hours. I do think that the ES or the SPY sees a bounce early, I'm hoping, and then we see a sell-off from there. But I think the market overall is heading lower over the next few weeks. SPY could see in the 550s, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. But we're not here to talk about the SPY. We're here to talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been, and crypto overall has been kind of disappointing. But Bitcoin has been pretty weak here, basically since December and January. I think sentiment got a little too hot, and we went a little too parabolic too fast. So right now, we were trading in this consolidation triangle here and just recently broke down from it. So not a great sign. Ideally the bulls wanted to hold this level. We just kind of consolidated and then broke down from it. Ideally the bulls wanted to break out from it. We didn't. So let's switch over to the daily chart, because this is one thing I really wanted to point out to everyone. Let's get rid of these stupid trend lines. Okay. So pull up the volume profile. Yeah, so pretty clear here what's going on, right? So there was a lot of distribution at the top here. You can see all the volume that was happening up here. And you can even see in the volume chart here, they were selling every pop above the 100K area. So, and this is something that is not uncommon in the later stages of the bull cycle. When you go back and look at 2017 and 2021, Bitcoin did see a 35% correction from its all-time high before it made another leg higher. So we could possibly be seeing that here. So far, I think we hit 30% down. And I think a lot of people thought that was the low, but I'm not convinced yet. So it was actually 28% down from the low, or from the high. So, possibly more to come, especially if the overall market becomes weaker. Now, one of the other things that, we've seen in the past also, especially in April, in 2017, we saw that 35% correction, and we saw it 3 times before it made its final all-time high. But, what we saw was a previous test of the previous all-time high at least once. So here's the previous all-time high, which was made in early 2024 in that March-April timeframe. So we're looking at about the 71 to 73K zone, okay? That is possible to get tested. I would honestly be surprised if we go lower than that, but if that fails, there's nothing stopping it from getting into the high 50s or the low 60s at all. But I have orders sitting right here because I think that level gets tested even on a quick wick, okay? And when you look at the volume profile, again, high volume nodes up here, and even on that, so we flushed lower, right, to 78K, and then a couple of days later, we had that massive rally, okay, and we ran up right to this high volume node and immediately sold off from there. We went up 9.5% and sold off 8.6%. ETH was even worse. ETH has just been absolute garbage. Don't get me started on ETH. But yeah, so basically we're just kind of trading in this consolidation range right here. But I think we will see one more push lower into this area, probably maybe even here in this high volume node shelf. And then maybe we can start making our way back up. We may kind of consolidate around in this area to fill out these low volume areas before we finally make that move back up. We'll see. It's tough to say. And from there, oftentimes we'll see from that capitulation low, we'll almost see 100% gain from that low, which is about the 140 to 150 area, which has really been my target for the last year. So I do think the cycle, assuming all things go well, and the market doesn't totally collapse, I think it's still possible we see 140 to 150K on Bitcoin. And again, like I said, you typically see like a 35% correction from the highs one last time. So where does that put us? 35% pullback puts us right in the 71K area. So do not be surprised if we see that. And do not be scared to nibble on some Bitcoin down there, in my opinion, because you can possibly still get one last sizable return of almost 100% from that level. Now, what I'll probably do is I'll buy some there, and I'll de-risk once it gets back to this previous balance zone. So, 71K to 91K is a pretty good return, and I'll de-risk some and try to hold on to some runners for these upper levels. But, let's see what happens over the next couple of months, and maybe I'll come back and update this video or follow up on it. But for now, that's all I have for you. That's kind of my thoughts out of a barrel. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Good luck, y'all. Have a good weekend.